Peekaboo. I know you're in there somewhere. Where'd y'all go? Where's all my subscribers? Where's all my likes and dislikes? Somebody better put something in this comment section. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? I see you. I see you right there. I see you. You ain't getting away with nothing. You think you slick. You ain't getting away with nothing. You know you want to come to my channel and watch my boring content. God bless you. Let me finish this. I have these two plaques, and then I have a plaque on my phone. I'm going to just go through them, and if I have any time after I get done, I'll talk, because I want this to be the last one, okay? Back to what I was saying about religion. Religion is not subjective, okay? Everything is subjective in a spirit of rebellion, but religion, mainly Christianity speaking, is not subjective, okay? Christianity is true because it's true for everybody. It's not a religion. It's not a choice. It is the area of one. It is the land of God. Okay? It is the land of God. It is the home of God. It is the people of God. That's what Christianity is. It's not a religion. Jesus came to fulfill, to abolish the works of the devil, and that includes religion. A Christian is an atheist against religion. Okay? A Christian only goes by one thing. That's the Word of God. Not a bunch of religious books, not really a bunch of denominations, not a bunch of religions. He goes by one thing. This is the only thing religious about a Christian. The fact that all of our human orders and terms of use, terms and procedures, all that, or policies and procedures, right here in the Bible. Okay? Right there in the Bible. We don't need to go nowhere else. We don't need to even go to our denomination. Denominations are like high schools. Everybody goes to one. Your high school has a basketball team. My high school has a football team. Your high school has, special programs for girls. My high school is anti-girl. Okay? It's only worried about boys. Okay? Your high school got like school councils, and your high school teaches how to be a lawyers and doctors, gets students ready to study law. My high school teaches retail management. And I did. My high school did teach retail management. I suck at retail management, but it did teach retail management, okay? If I didn't suck at it so bad, I'd be wealthy today. Now I realize that I should have paid more attention in that retail management class. Looking at my cousin who retired early, okay, and jumped from one thing to another, trying to keep that business perspective going on. It worked. He finally retired in Florida at a good old ripe age. He's having fun. But he won't be coming over to the Philippines because him and his wife did business together, and now they retired together. And he doesn't need to go out there and feed the Filipinos. He's too busy feeding his wife. Okay. There's a black man there that I look up to. I don't look up to too many black people, but that one I look up to. Okay. Religion is not subjective. Everything is subjective in a spirit of rebellion. But there is only one God. Okay? And yes, you can talk about the Holy Spirit. You can talk about the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, all like that. It's all one, though. There's only one Trinity. Only one baptism, one salvation, one sanctification, one people, one Bible. One. Just everything is one. Yeah, there's elements, but they're all one. All one. They form all one to form one God. Okay? It's all one. Okay? And it's not a need for religion. It's not religion. But see, that's something that a Christian that's really, really into Jesus has to digest. You people that are sitting there saying stuff like, well, it doesn't matter who you pray to and like that, you're wet behind the ears. You don't realize that our job as Christians is to get people to stop praying to paganism, to get people to stop thinking that God is not sure how he wants you to come to him, or he don't care, he really don't care, he don't take sides, that's a lie. God is one. His people are one. He's not a bunch of religions. He's not a bunch of denominations. He's not a bunch of different Christian literature and Bibles. He is one. And once we get to that one, then we can all feel more conservative about our faith instead of acting like, oh, it's just something like everybody else is doing. No, it's not. Okay? What is the real reason why foreign men are offered to come and populate the Philippines? Filipina Pea, can you answer that? What is the real reason why foreign men are offered to come? Your channel is all about offering the foreigners to come to the Philippines. See, one of these days we're going to surprise you. We're going to put about 1 billion horny white men on a bus with about a few horny black men. Okay? And we're going to come over to the Philippines and remind you of everything you said in every video. You and your women better be ready. Okay? Because we want dates for each one. Okay? We want dates for all 1 billion men. We don't want to be standing around waiting for them and praying for them and hunting for them and talking about them and listening to more videos about them. No. We're going to get on a bus. We're going to go to the Philippines, get on a bus. We're going to meet you in the square with 1 billion men. A couple of us is going to be black. And one of them will probably be me. We're going to want you to hold up to your end of the bargain and show us where all these sweet little cutie pies are. Okay? What is the real reason why foreign men are offered to come and populate the Philippines? What's the real reason? Is it you need our money? Is it that you are trying to steal from the West? Is there a problem between Philippine men and Philippine women? That's another question. Why are so many Philippine women going after foreigners when you got hard-working Filipino men right there with you? I mean, I'm looking at your video footage, and I see you doing videos and doing interviews with people while the Philippine men are in the back. You can see them on the video. They're in the back sweeping and picking up garbage. You go to a restaurant, they're serving you. Okay? You go out to, you went out to the one place. You took your girlfriend with you. You went to the one place up in the mountains and played paintball. Remember that? All the men up there, I mean, some of these men were handsome. Very handsome in my opinion. Very nice looking, good shape. Okay? Hopefully they was getting paid for all that entertainment they was doing. You mean to tell me? There was a lot of men up there. Way more men than all the videos you showed. There were tons. I mean, there were tons of Philippine men up there. And you're telling me that you need all these Western men to come? I don't get that. I mean, I understand where you want to talk about us coming and let us know how pleasant it would be for us. But why the big, why the big convention about it? It's such a convention with you. You want us all to come over there. How many do you want? How many Western men do you need in the Philippines? How many Western men for what Philippine women do you need over there? Because you talk like you need so many Western men in the Philippines to meet the needs of these Philippine women. Now, one clue I got caught it. It almost slipped past me, but I caught it. It was the fact that during the pandemic, a lot of things caused problems in the Philippines, and it was the American men that recently came into the Philippines that I guess helped the Philippines because of their investments and that. This came out of one of your videos. I caught it. It's because of them that the Philippines didn't go desolate, because of non-Filipinos coming into the Philippines. Okay, so tell me something. Okay, what's the real reason why you want foreign men to come and populate the Philippines? What's the real reason? That's all I want to know. I'm coming. I just want to know why. What's the real reason? What's the real reason? What's the reason behind all the beautiful women? What's the reason behind all this chance of a great retirement? What's the real reason? Okay? I heard about crime in paradise, and I watched a video, and, now they're putting, the BGC in Manila. They just put that in there. Well, Manila is also known as a big crime spot in the Philippines. So you got, and it's just, we have the same garbage in the West. You have this big city with all this business and beauty, and then you got these ghettos right outside the city. But I got to go to the BGC, even though I feel like I've already been there here in Pittsburgh. Being it got ghettos right outside of it, okay? It's still beautiful. I want to come down there and stay in a hotel. I want to shop. I want to go sightseeing. Because when I go on a vacation, the hotel is my vacation. I really don't need to do any more than just enjoy the hotel, enjoy the food, go out to eat. And if I can rent a car and ride around and get to know the neighborhood a little bit, I think when I first come in there, I'm going to bring somebody to know something about the Philippines with me, because I don't want to be lost and get shot, okay, for doing something. I don't want to get shot on my vacation, okay? That's not the way I want to go out, okay? Can you own property? I think you already said no. You can rent property, but you can't own it because you're not Philippine, okay? I would never retire or live in the Philippines if I can't own my own property. I want to buy my property off. I want to drive a vehicle. I want to own guns. Here in Pittsburgh, I own a gun to protect myself, okay? Because like you, we got ghettos right up the street, okay? We got ghettos right outside of every corner of downtown Pittsburgh, okay? I carry guns, okay? If I was to live in the Philippines, I'd want to have a gun to protect myself. I'd want to own my property, and I'd want to drive cars. Now, from what I hear from your channel and others so far, is that foreigners can drive cars, they can't own the property, and only Filipinos can own guns if they're blood Filipinos that have lived in that country all their life. Well, that kicks me out of the idea of me living, in the Philippines, whether it be retirement or just because I love it. I will be just visiting and leaving, because here in the States, I own my house. I'm buying a house. I own guns. Okay? And I can drive anything I want to drive. Okay? It's all money. But you're telling me in the Philippines it don't matter if I got the money. Can't do it, because I'm not Filipino. And I gotta admit, if Americans weren't throwing every freedom with immigrants out there the way they do, just like we let all these people just cross our border from Mexico into the U.S., okay, and we don't make them go back over there and come back in the right way, what happens is we end up where we got people from other nations coming in here trying to segregate themselves from white and black people. We got people from other nations owning guns to what? Kill Americans. We got people from other countries coming in here, you know, trying to hate, okay, trying to burn our flag right in front of our face and everything else. So I commend the Philippines if they don't want to let foreigners own guns, if they don't want to let foreigners be dragged, because you know here they got Muslims just running people over in New York City just to be terrorists. I mean, they actually just randomly run people over on a regular basis and kill 100 people at a time in the city of New York here in the West. Okay, we don't want that in the Philippines, and I'm glad, you know, I'm glad that there's some place where that's not going on. Y'all ain't got to worry about that. Now I assume that the Muslims have their own neighborhoods, from what I understand from my friend on Facebook. They have their own neighborhoods, and they pretty much run their own neighborhoods. But their neighborhoods, like their shopping and all like that, just like Michigan. Is it Michigan, Illinois, or is it just Michigan? I forget whether Michigan's a state or a city. It's a state, Michigan. It's Michigan. Just like in Michigan, they say that the Arabs, you know, the Muslims basically own Michigan. Okay, so you go to Michigan, it looks like, you know, most of the parts of Michigan look like frickin' Iraq. Everybody's in the hijab, and you go to cross the street, you got some Muslim guy yelling at you because you don't know what he's talking about, you know, whatever, you know, and I've seen video footage of it, you know. That's what we do here. We give too many freedoms out to people that aren't weaned in to deserve them. And I'm glad, I commend you for being different in the Philippines. That's how the Philippine women look like Philippine women all these years. That's why the culture of the Philippines is Philippine and not every culture. That's why the food in the Philippines is Philippine. That's why, you know, the Philippines are the Philippines. Because y'all ain't just going to let people come in there and have all these rights that ain't Philippine. And I can't hate you for that, because if we had done that here in the U.S., there wouldn't be no fighting between whites and blacks, because look, this is a white nation, okay, and anybody else is lucky to retire here, just like the Philippines. You're lucky to retire here, you're lucky to be here. Shut your goddamn mouth, quit complaining, getting on TV, acting stupid. Okay, and I think white people would treat us better if they felt that this was really a white nation. Okay? Because even though we practice this equality nonsense, white people have the seniority. People like Joe Biden is going to make sure he has the seniority. People like Donald Trump, my man, don't mind having the seniority. He ain't going to push it, but he don't mind. Because it was white that got it started. It's going, you know what I'm saying? How can we trust all this brown skin to make it better when it ain't doing nothing but causing war after slavery is over, right? So, there you go. My opinion, I won't be retiring in the Philippines because of these laws, and the laws about marriage and divorce too. I won't be retiring in the Philippines. And what you said about women, how many women are walking around married and they're sleeping around, and you know, I won't have some dude coming out of the shadows beating my little 5'3.5" butt down into the ground because he thought I was cheating, sleeping with his wife. Okay? No, I'm not having that. Okay? So I won't be retiring in the Philippines, but it'll be like a second home to me when I do retire. It will be like a second home to me. But America comes first. America first. Donald Trump said that. America first. Okay? With all that, My wife will be, I said it before, my wife will be a Christian like me or no relationship. Now, if I'm just talking to a girl, that's fine. If I'm just taking a girl out on casual dates, that's fine. But there's not going to be any sex, number one. I'm not a fornicator. We Christians aren't allowed to practice fornication. I don't know if you know that or not, but read your Bible. Abstain from fornication, said God, said Jesus. Abstain from all fornication. Okay? No sex before marriage. I don't care whether you Filipino or whether you some other passport bro, welcoming the passport bros in the nation. Okay? There is no sex, okay, outside of marriage for Christians. I don't care what nation you come from. It ain't no different in the Philippines than it is in America. If you are a born-again Christian, you do not practice fornication. I'm hearing all these Filipino women talking about they got relationships, they got boyfriends, but yet they still trying to talk to foreigners and all this kind of stuff. I'm dating, but I don't want to really talk about that. Well, what do you mean when you say I'm dating? Because in the Bible, they didn't date. In the Bible, you have women that you became friends with who became your sisters in the Lord, okay, who became your wives, and vice versa. Men who became good friends turned into your brothers in the Lord and went from there to being husbands. That's what we do. We don't do dating and taking our date back to our hotel or back to our apartment, and we don't do friends with benefits. We don't do that stuff. And it ain't no different. The Filipinos ain't any more justified about this anymore than these wicked people out here in the West. Okay? I said before about the age gap. Okay? We have sugar babies, sugar mamas, and sugar daddies. Okay? Here in America. Sugar babies are women who are willing to be with older men, even all the way up to, some poor man on life support, okay, because they have financial needs. We got sugar mamas, which is a totally different thing. The opposite of a sugar daddy. She's a woman that sleeps with younger men. She's a woman, half the women you seen on them videos telling these men F themselves because they're going over to the Philippines or in the passport bros and all like that. Those were sugar mamas. That's what those were. They're women who don't mind giving the booty up, okay, and then breaking the man's heart, okay, or leaving his wallet empty. But then when he wants to say, hey, you know what, I'm done with you, I got better things to do, I'm going to go get me a Filipina, then they want to say, oh, you're going to do this, do us like that, take your trifling bet on, okay? Those are sugar mamas. And then you have sugar daddies. You have sugar daddies all the way from old white men who can barely get out of bed, okay? I don't know how he's supposed to have sex with his wife, but you got sugar daddies like that all the way to these black men who driving around in Cadillacs with their old self, can barely walk to the steps. They can barely get out of the car, but they sharp. They dress sharp. They got on a super fly hat. They got the Cadillac, the fancy car. They got the pants is pleating. They got a $150, $500 suit on. And they got money to burn, and they just throw money at these women. Take them out shopping. They take them to the mall, take them shopping. They take them to get food. They take them to get cigarettes. Some of them take them to get drugs. Okay? And then when they get to the bedroom, I don't know if you want to call that sex or a sexual favor. But that's a sugar daddy. That's a sugar daddy for you. Okay? When a babe is clingy to her man in the West, the men will, I didn't finish the sentence, the men will look at him, okay? When a babe is clingy to her man in the West, the men will look at him and see him as, a sissy, a coward, okay? Or a man that doesn't, and women in the West It might be good for the Philippines, but it's not good for the West for a woman to be clinging to her man. Women need to learn how to, if a woman is going after a man that ain't paying her the time of day, or a man that she's worried about him cheating on her, or whatever, what she needs to do is give him some space. And he'll think that she knows what he's doing wrong, and he'll be coming and asking her for forgiveness. Okay? All she got to do is give him silent treatment, give him some space. Okay? And it'll turn around. Ain't going to be none of this clean stuff. Okay? I act like I don't love you, then you need to act like you don't love me back. I act like I ain't got time for you, then you ain't got time for me. Okay? It works every time. It works every time. You want progress in your dates, you got to let them know you ain't no, the men got to let these women know they ain't sissies and they ain't hopeless romantics. The women got to let these men know that they ain't witches. Okay? They ain't no whooping girl either. You either love me or you love me not. If you don't love me, I ain't got time. I got to go. I got things to do. It works every time for both men and women in the West. I don't know about the Philippines. Okay? Again, the age gap. Women that are attracted to her man act one way. Yeah. Women that are attracted to their men act one way. Women that are just with their man for some outer emotional reason, an outer financial reason or an outer, other social reason, they act a different way. Same thing with the men. Men that are attracted, see, one thing about men, all these white men, as well as these black men, bragging about doing in the Philippines, the white men just want to snatch up the youngest Philippine little thing they can find, like I said. And the black men just want to come out here and get their whistle wet. It's all, both sides, both men, it's all sex. It's all based on a man's desire to cancel the struggle to have a good sexual thing laying in his bedroom. Okay? Here in the West, young men are impressed with how many women they can sleep with. Older men are impressed with having that one girl, okay, that's going to make them look good. And I mean, now you think you look good, but if you're walking out to the car and your wife got to keep stopping and waiting for you to catch up, that don't look good. That don't look good. Now don't get me wrong. There's a lot of men out there that young women are attracted to because these men are in great shape. These men are healthy. They're celebrities. They're singers. Like Michael Jackson. When he died, he was 50 or 50 some years old, but he could still dance like he was 19. Okay, so women were attracted to him. Okay, I don't know about the nose being all jacked up, but they were attracted to him. And then a lot of Asians were attracted to him, and I guess he didn't like Asians, but he bleached his skin like a lot of Asian women do. Okay. A lot of old men. R. Kelly molesting kids and still getting booty after being a registered sex offender. Okay? Women still sleep with him. Dude looks good. Puff Daddy's up in age now. Kanye, Drake. These guys are up in age. Okay? But they in shape and they look good on stage. They still got groupies. They still got their OnlyFans. Okay? Alright? I can understand that. But when you just been working like me, working and coming home tired, and you go to the doctor one day, he tell you got diabetes, another day he tell you got something else, another day he tell you got something else, and then you dumb enough to get online and be looking at these little young girls And you can't keep up with them because you're sick. You're old and sick. How you going to keep up with them? You know, it don't make sense. I mean, if you're going to have a girl that young, at least be young. Even though you're old, be young. And same thing for the girl. If you're going to have a guy that old, at least be mature. I can understand the Filipina Pea being married to an older man because she's very mature. There are a lot of girls older than her that have yet to reach her level. Okay? I mean, this woman's like 5 different therapists in one. But how many women do that? In the Philippines and the West, how many women do that? Every woman you talk to is like your client. No matter what the topic is about. You're like the client. They're like your clients. Okay, so, and all the men you talk to are like your clients. And they're old enough to be your father. Okay? You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, I can see you with an older man because you're mature like that. But a lot of the girls you talk to, if they get with an older man, they ain't going to do nothing but ruin his life. And like I said before, when girls are young like you, and they're built like you, and they're pretty like you, what are they doing when they're not with their husbands? I mean, can you really honestly not desire the attention of younger men? Can you really honestly not flash yourself in front of young men? Can you really honestly, you know, resist the temptation and you know, I mean, be honest. What are, you know, like, you know, what are Philippine women doing? Because I know a lot of y'all, according to your videos, are hanging out all the time. You get all dressed up to hang out. Okay, well, now you got your foreign man. What are you hanging out for? Because I can't imagine a Philippine woman going a whole day without putting on them skimpy clothes and going out in the hot sun and taking walks with her girlfriends, and all the men are watching them go by and drooling, even if she's married. Because that is your culture. That's what y'all do. Until y'all get my age, until women get to be in their late 40s, 50s, and 60s, then they settle down from all that crap. But hopefully, these young girls ain't hooking up with these old men, and then these old men got to tell them how to stay in the house and do their homework, okay, and make up their bed and take showers and everything like kids, and tell them that they can't go out and play. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, you know, there's got to be you know. But I mean, I know what you're doing. It's between it's the couple. It's not up to us. It's up to the couple. It's up to the girl that's at a legal age, even though it's too young an age. It's a legal age. It's up to the girl. It's a legal age, and it's up to the old man. Whether he's trying to kill himself quick, or he thinks he can hang, or if he think he can hang, that's between the two of them and God. I'll leave it at that. But leave it up to me, there'd be a law against it. You'd have to sit in court and prove to me that you love this man, that you love this woman, and it ain't about security and money on your side, and it ain't just about sex on your side. Okay? You'd have to prove to me. Okay? Submissiveness in the East versus the West. Now, one thing I want to say about submissiveness. Men in the West don't really need the submissiveness that Philippine women demand. They'll take it, but they don't need it. For example, I don't need a woman to do my pedicures. Oh, I need my pedicures done. I've been needing them done since I was a baby. But, because they ugly. But, me and her can go together and get our pedicures done together. That's the way I feel about that. One thing I can't stand and do is sit there and watch TV or read my Bible or whatever while my wife is in there scrubbing and cleaning. You know what I mean? No, that makes me feel some kind of way. No, I'm going to go in there and help her do the dishes And there's nothing wrong with that. I know a guy that sent his wife back to Africa because she wouldn't let him help her clean. He says, "You're a neat freak," and she says, "You need to sit down and shut up and let me be a woman." And he was like, "Look, woman, I understand what y'all do in Africa, but this is America. I'm not going to sit here and watch you clean. I know how to clean my house. I don't need a woman to clean my house for me. I married you for love, not to be my maid." That's what he told her. "I married you for love, not to be my personal maid. Come here and sit down and watch this TV with me." "No, I need to clean." "Okay." All right. And after so many times of that, he sent her back to Africa. But submissiveness is different over here than it is over there. Some of that submissive behavior that Philippine women have over there might drive an American man crazy. Okay? But some things, I appreciate. Submissiveness to a man over here is simply letting a man be the king of his castle. He doesn't care if his wife is a good cook. He doesn't care if his wife has her hair out every day. Okay? He doesn't care if his wife got the prettiest nails or the prettiest pedicures. You know what I'm saying? A man wants his wife to let him be the king of his castle. And it's not based on what she can do for him. It's based on the words to come out of his mouth and her obedience to it. It's based on him solving the problems that come into their home and her being submissive to that. Okay? Let him be the head of his home. That's what submissiveness is. It ain't doing dishes and doing pedicures and doing all the laundry. My mom taught me, knowing that most black women are going to grow up to be single mothers. My mother taught me how to clean up after myself, do my own laundry, iron my own clothes, cook and clean. I mean, my mom showed me how to do all that, and okay, I feel funny if I can't do it. So even if I got a good Filipino wife living with me, I'm still going to clean. I'm still going to cook. Maybe she'll do it more, but I'm still going to be doing it too. Okay? Why Western men do better over there? And I believe Western men do better over there because, first of all, they make a conscious decision that they're going to do better over there because they don't want to ruin it. Okay? And as far as the women goes, they go over there and they, women treat them better and women give out faster. Especially when a man is that old. Over here, he's just an old fart. He better go find him an old hag, okay? That's how you deal with that over here. But over there, no, an old fart can find him an old, sweet, church-going virgin, little tiny, young behind, sweetest ever little Filipina. And God is looking down and smiling and saying, "Oh, bless your little hearts." No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Last but not least, okay, she's not my Filipina till I put a ring on her finger, okay? As I said before, sex outside of marriage, a woman's not even allowed to be, like when I get with women, we're in places where there are other people can see what we're doing, they can see what we're talking about, okay? You said something on a video about, if you make your Filipino upset if you don't want to be alone with her. I don't mind being alone with her, but we're not going to be alone in my apartment or hers. Okay? I'm not a fornicator. Okay? And neither am I going to leave myself to be tempted to be so. Okay? Dating and having sex are two different things, and that's true. Dating and having sex are two different things. Okay, in case you didn't know that. I can talk and be friends with as many women as I want, till I find one I'd like to marry. Right? You agree? I think that a woman that's not willing to step away from the Philippines for the man she loves, let me say that again, I think that a woman that's not willing to step away from the Philippines for the man she loves, to me, this is just me and the way I read it in the Bible, to me is idolatry and bondage to a cult. What's so special about these Philippines that she can't leave the Philippines? If a woman can leave Pittsburgh and move to Texas, okay, and they do it every day, leave Pittsburgh and move to Florida, California, okay, she can leave the Philippines and come to Pittsburgh. We do it every day over here in the West, and it's never been a problem. Okay? There's nothing special, so special about the Philippines that a woman can't leave the Philippines. If she already has her culture instilled in her. We got plenty of Filipinos in Southeast California. Okay? Ask them. They practice their culture in California. They don't need to be on Philippine ground to act like a Philippine, to treat their men like their Philippine wives. They're submissive. They do their thing just like you do. Okay? They might understand the West better than you do, and they might use that to their advantage in small places, but at the same time, okay, they are your people. They act just like you. They love their men just like you love your men. And they, they're not running back to the Philippines. But they are practicing Philippine culture right here in the States. And that's how you do it. You don't have to be in your homeland. Just like I'm a Christian. I've never been to heaven. I don't know what the kingdom of heaven God looks like without a drawing. I'm a citizen of heaven, the Bible says. But I'm not a man of the world. Okay, I live my culture as a Christian right here on planet Earth. If I can do that, a Philippine cutie can leave the Philippines and marry a man here in the West. And the Philippines, the Philippines can be her second home. Okay, just like going from a first language to a second language. Okay, the Philippines becomes her second home because her family lives there. Okay, so she'll be going back and forth enough, God willing. Okay, I prefer a woman no less than 10 years younger than me or 3 years older, but either way, I'm Christian and my wife will be a Christian. She won't be getting any ideas from or influences from a non-Christian environment. You said that you were saying that it was dangerous to take a Philippine woman to the West. Okay, it's not, because I'm a Christian and I only marry Christians. So we won't be going to the bars, we won't be going to the clubs, so we don't really have to worry about those ideas. She's going to be in the Republican Party with me. Okay, we're going to be doing conservative things and living a conservative Christian lifestyle. Okay, the world can be wicked just like you got crime in the Philippines. Okay, but you know what I mean? I have my lifestyle. People that ain't Christians, they have theirs. That's their problem. Okay. She won't be getting any ideas from or influences from a non-Christian environment. Also, I heard that young Filipinas cheat on their Western lovers with Filipino men. The Philippines is full of clubs and bars, dancing and drinking, and a lot of Philippine girls love TikTok. So let's not call any place heaven outside my Bible. I have to ask, so are white men connecting with one kind of Filipino women and blacks another? Because when I look at your videos, I don't see any black men doing anything. I see old white men, old enough to be somebody's granddad, hooking up with these little tiny, little innocent Philippine daughters of some other old man, okay? Where's the black men at? I want you to do more interviews with black men that have Filipina wives. Because so far, the ones I've seen expose some darkness, okay? I'd like to see it on your channel. I'd like to see it on your channel. The channels that I've seen it on have so far exposed the passport bros and exposed some lies in this whole game of black men and Filipina women, okay? What about women? Can black and white women come to the Philippines? All I see is men and Philippine women. Are American women allowed in the Philippines? Or black women allowed in the Philippines? What if a black mama want to come over there and get herself a Philippine man? What if a white woman want to hook up with a Philippine man? Okay? What if a white man want to go over there and meet his little blue-eyed white, okay, snowflake, as a lot of black people will call her, in Philippine culture, and vice versa? And I'm sure that Americans are meeting Americans in the Philippines, but not on your show, not on your content, okay? What about women? Can black and white women come to the Philippines and find love with Filipino men? Why no talk about that? We said enough about the age gap and about how foreigners treat Americans in the U.S. We talked about that. So there it is. I won. I'm done. Part 6. We're done. At 47 and some minutes. That's it. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for watching. I will be doing plenty more Filipino videos because I have more questions. And as I watch more and more of your videos, I have more and more questions. And I'm going to watch all your videos until I'm just sick of you. Okay? Because I just love your content. Your content has been my favorite thing to watch. It's like somebody talking to me about heaven, and heaven is like, so many thousand miles away. I can actually get a plane to a real life heaven. And that's the way you talk about the Philippines, like you, not just the women, but you talk about the whole place out there. And the videos that I watched the BGC video yesterday, and I know that when I take a vacation in the Philippines, the first place I'm going to go is the BGC, if I pronounce that right. Manila, the BGC. Okay, I can't wait. So, I love your content, and I will see you soon with more. And I hope you get a chance. I'll send you a link to some of these to your channel. I hope that you look at these videos and you use this video content of mine to add to your video content to talk about more and more questions that people might have on your channel. Okay, God bless you.